What's up, guys? That's right. I'm back at it again. Here we go. We had such a great broadcast last night. Got some free time today. Figured, why not? Let's go live again. So that's what we're doing. We're back here to talk about more, hang out with you guys. Oh, Devin B, first in. Nice, man. Right off the bat. Quick jump. Good hands, good hands. Good stuff, man. All right. You guys having a good Sunday out there? Wow, man. Devin was fast. That was all of about like 10 seconds. Bam, he was there. Ugh. All right, I got to get everything set up, and we're gonna build the audience. So, what are you up to today, Dev? How you doing, bro? Let's see. There we go. All right. So, I do apologize. Just give me a minute to get everything set up here, and then we're ready to chit chat, do whatever. I've got some news about last night's feed. We had some requests from it, so we're gonna talk a little bit about what happened with that and what we're planning on. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming up. Shbop, shbop. Got it. Bam. I love this. This has been working out so well. So well. All right, man. Just flying through this tonight. Getting it all set up just the way I want it. Loving it. Loving it. Loving it. Don't you love when everything just goes nice and smooth and it seems like everything's flowing? Yeah, man. That's perfect, dude. Perfect. Okay, well, that's fine either way. Save all that. We're up and running. Just trying to get on here early enough so that our friends from the UK would be available to jump in and hang out for a minute. Got pranked last night by that's Brad. Yeah, yeah, he got me good. He got me good. Tips, hats off, hats off. All right, well, it looks like we're all set here. So let's jump over and start hanging out with you guys. All right, so what's everybody been up to? Is anybody still here? Devin, you still with us, man? It doesn't look like it. Nope. Nope, hanging by myself. That's cool. All right, so let's see, what can we talk about? I don't know. I'm not, I just don't. I really don't want to cover anything like politics or anything. That's just no fun. And need to find something interesting. What's been going on? I still can't believe Brad got me real good last night. If you didn't see, go on the live stream from last night and check out how Brad pranked me. Got me good for a minute. I wasn't sure what he was working or who was if it was possible, and then it turned out I thought for a second, and then I had to go through it. But basically, he wound up pranking me for a minute, and for just a moment, for a short period of time, he had me believing. So tricky, tricky, bad, tricky, tricky. Probably gonna play some Call of Duty. I did wind up playing Call of Duty last night, but it was wicked late, so I doubt a lot of you guys were on. It was definitely good games. I was doing really well in a few of them, so that's cool. That's cool. Doesn't look like there's gonna be a big audience today, so well, that's okay. That's all right. Can't imagine where everybody is at 12:30 on a Sunday. In the UK, that is. Here in America, it's all the way back to I think 3 o'clock later in Hawaii or earlier in Hawaii. So yeah. Hi, Pipes. Pipes came over to say hi. Hi, Piper. Silly kitty. Love this cat, dude. She's so cool. Look at this cat. Now you're attacking my arm. Ow. These little kitten's got sharp claws. Oh, she's just biting the crap out of me. Alright, alright. I gotta go get her fixed. She wants to go outside, and I think she's getting to that age right where she's about to go into heat. So, time to be a good pet owner and go get her fixed. Huh, Pipey? Then you can stay my kitten forever. I don't know. I love when they stay young and all playful. This one seems like she's going to have a lot of energy for a long time. She annoys my minimum so much. What? It's a kitty. What's going on, Jordan? What's poppin'? Not a whole lot, man. What you up to, buddy? Thanks for stopping on by, man. I was getting bored hanging out by myself, dude. What you up to on this fine Sunday? We got like a little thunderstorm that rolled through just for a second, man. I was hoping it was going to be worse, but like I woke up chilling. Sky's looking good, and then as the clouds start, I saw some big dark clouds start rolling. And I'm like, ah, sweet. Check the radar. Nah, just little pockets. Damn. Heard some thunder. I'm like, all right. It rained for like 5 minutes. Don't you hate that? Oh, sweet, man. That's awesome. Who doesn't love paintball? That's rocking, dude. What kind of marker did you have? Or did you use like a field marker? I got an old paintball gun downstairs. Well, it's I guess yeah, it is kind of old, but still works really well. It's a Spider EXT, so it's got the electronic trigger and everything like that. Fires either single shot, 3 round burst, 6 round burst, or fully automatic. And I think it's up to 13 balls a second when you go fully automatic. Yay, Electric Closet made it to a live stream. How you doing? Glad to have you in. It's been a while. Hope everything's doing good down there in Florida. You guys are recovering well from that, I hope. Because that was a shame. I hope everything is okay. I know you lost power for a while. I was checking in on your channel once in a while, make sure that you were still up and alive. So, woohoo! You almost died playing paintball. You don't know what kind of marker it was. How do you not know? Was it a fully automatic? Have you played before? I used to play a lot as a kid, so I paintball was my deal. Paintball was my deal. Yeah, I love some paintball. I need to adjust this camera a little bit. I wanted to give you guys a little the angle. I just don't like it. So let's see if I can use something to prop it up a little better. Yeah, what a surprise there, Seth. That's a lot better, huh? Wouldn't you say? I think so. Yeah, you see my army shirt. Old PT army shirt. Brad. Brad. Thank you so much too to Brad who hit us up with a super chat last night. Thank you, Brad. Woo! We're giving you the hand claps, American sign language style. ALS. That's what it is. That's clapping. Yeah, it was a shame. We Piper. Oh, cool, man. Do you have that? Hold on, the camera got out of focus because of the kitty. All right, there we go. Did you have the circle scar from the paintball? It always leaves a circle bruise or a half moon is always I call it a moon bruise. But that's so terrible to hear there, Electric Closet. So sorry. That sucks. That at least you're okay, and our hearts go out to those who were affected negatively by it. 1 second, let me go ahead and dive into the Bat Cave. Here we go. And we're back. Yeah, the welts. That's part of paintball. I have a picture. I think it's on my Facebook. It should be on my Facebook. Uh, for $50, I let two guys empty 200 rounds each on my back, and I stood out there and I let them go, and they reloaded a little and they cheated, but yeah, never do that again, dude. I had welts everywhere, but still made $50. The body will heal. $50, easy money. Easy money. Happy to have That's Brad stopping in to hang out. It's always a pleasure, man. We love when he comes over to chill. I just had such a good broadcast last night. I figured we'd get back at it again. I'm so glad everyone's able to stop in. Jordan, of course, stopping in. Jordan Kovacs and Electric Closet and probably doing the electric slide. That's Brad. All the cool cats are here. Yup. I'm really surprised. My cucumbers. I started like a bucket garden on my deck so that I could grow just some tomatoes and some cucumbers. Now the season's about over, getting ready to be over for those, and I was thinking that I was like, man, I should go ahead and just prune it back to see if I can save the plant for 1 year. So I pruned it all back pretty strong, except for one branch that had like maybe one or two leaves barely hanging on, and the thing started sprouting again. So just the other day, we got a nice fresh cucumber straight out of the bucket garden off my balcony deck, and it was the best dang cucumber I've had in a while. Oh, Brad. Look at this guy. Yeah, I oughta. I oughta. But, dude, that was an awesome cucumber. But I'm getting more coming in now, and I'm really excited. And the tomato plant I thought was done, but out of left field, about four more tomatoes. It looks like some smaller ones, but it's still good. I'll still eat those. And all I did was just get some big buckets, fill them with dirt, some potting soil. I threw the plants in there and watered them, and left them outside in the rain and stuff since we get plenty of that here. And bam, some fresh vegetables. You can't get any more fresh than that. I literally picked this cucumber, and it was about yay size. Not the biggest cucumber in the world, but it was it was a cucumber, and picked it right off there. Took it inside, washed it off, peeled it out, chopped it up, cut it right down the middle in half. Gave half to the wife, half to me. We just sat there and munched on some awesome cucumber. Never had a cucumber that was so juicy. It was like eating a watermelon juicy. But wow, it was amazing. Forgot how good fresh stuff tastes, man. Fresh vegetables are awesome, and cucumbers are really easy. So I think next year I'm gonna do a lot more, and see how that works out. I'd love to get some kind of irrigation system set up for it, but I'm thinking that I like this. It's so much easier. Didn't have to till a lot of weeds. It was easier to move them around if there was too much sun on the deck. Pull them back to the house to get them shade, and it was easy to water them. They were right there, and it was nice to go out there and talk to my plants. I love talking to my plants. Ooh, fresh lettuce, fresh lettuce. When I was a kid, we used to have gardens. My dad made the paper when we were really little. He grew a huge pumpkin, and and we were on post at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas, and he grew a giant pumpkin. And so yeah, that was really cool. We've always been growing stuff. My dad's a real good gardener. I've been trying to get him to do YouTube so much. He does have a YouTube channel. You guys should go check it out. I think he has a few videos of him when he was doing live theater, and you guys will see where I get the whole me from if you go see his videos. But yeah, my dad does a lot of stand up live, a lot of live theater, acting kind of stuff. October is his favorite month. Halloween. His house is Halloween 24/7 anyway. But now they get to go extra Halloween because it's Halloween time. But if you want to check out that channel to see some stuff, Mark Greenbaum. He also did some live stand up comedy, which inspired me to do some live stand up comedy. So yeah, yeah. Piper. This cat, man. It didn't work. My hair is just at that point where it's long enough to get in my eyes, but not long enough that I can pull it back out of my face and it stay. But it has to dry. I just got out of the shower. Got home, got cleaned up. There we go. Message restricted. Oh, message retracted. Oh. Cheese and crackers. Cheese and crackers. I don't know why I'm singing about cheese and crackers. What a good day. It wasn't too bad. Like I said, nice day today out. I'm going to be up probably after I finish the live stream, which I don't know how long that's going to go. I know we all saw it though. We all saw that you put something there and then pulled it back. Still trying to figure out what could she have said. Hmm. Hmm. Who knows? Who knows? Yes, and I know smoking is bad. If you're a young youth or something along those lines and you're looking at smoking, don't do it. And not because I'm not going to tell you don't do it because the health concerns, because that's all they tell you. Don't do it because it sucks on money, man. In Iraq, those cigarettes were like dirt cheap. They were like $1 a pack. At that price, I couldn't afford not to smoke. So they were practically giving them away. So, but the nicotine actually helps keep you awake. About lettuce. Oh well, who doesn't love everything? Some lettuce coming up. That's awesome. Who doesn't like some lettuce? Fresh lettuce? I lived in Florida for a little bit. So I've lived in Florida. But it wasn't long. Yeah, but I had grandparents that lived there too, so we visited over in Tampa years ago. Uh, I'm talking like late 80s, early 90s. And then I can't remember where it was. I know it was close to Tampa, outside of Tampa. Um, but they wound up selling that place, and then Grandpa had owned a piece of a mountain that he bought back in like the 70s or something. Oh, well, that's cool, Phil. No, man, feel free to go hang out with your buddies over there. Maybe if they get bored and they're done talking over there, they come over here and hang out with us. But go do your thing, man. Don't worry about it. No big deal. So then, yeah, he sold his house up there. Then he bought the mountain house. Had this house built on a private piece of property that he'd owned for years, and they cleared it all out and had this really cool house up there. That place was awesome. He had his own nice, secluded, private mountain. Yeah, I remember. We didn't go. I wish I could remember the area. Uh, but I can't. I just know it was outside of Tampa. I can remember what the area looked like, and he had a grapefruit tree in his backyard, And I loved grapefruits, and my grandpa loved grapefruits, and that was something. I'm a spitting image of my grandpa. Spitting image. So if you just imagine this, that's my grandpa. So his plan was about what I wanted to do. He joined the military. He did a military career time. He got out, and he owned his house for a while, and then he sold it when he finally got to the point where he was ready. Took off, and then lived off in his cabin retreat home, which was awesome. And yeah, nutty. I would say I'm definitely like not like everybody else. So nutty, yes, I have paperwork to prove it. Yeah, just a little, just a little. But being in the army will do that to you as well. Good times, good times. Peanuts racked out. Yeah, we got some big YouTubers. Brad's the YouTube star, man. He's gonna grow fast, get that 100,000 subscribers before he knows it, and then he's gonna forget about all the little people. We know how it goes. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So I was thinking about old cartoons that I used to watch when I was a kid. Do you guys? Does anybody remember Buttons and Mindy? Buttons and Mindy at all? Does he really already have 9,000? Last I checked, it was at like seven something. That is so amazing, dude. I swear he's gonna be getting that play button before he knows it. And see, this is so cool. I'm just excited to see it happen to somebody. Just to see it happen to somebody that proves that it can be done, because it's just like crazy to see. But Brad's gonna be an inspiration to us all. I would think that he's gonna be able to pull this off. And I'm just so happy to see it happen to such a good guy, a well-deserving person. And it's amazing to see that it does happen. It does happen, and that proves it can be done. And if it can be done, then anybody can do it. And I'm saying that Brad's just anybody, but it can be done. That's what I'm trying to say. What's that? Hold on to the Batcave. Sorry, there's a false alarm in the Batcave. Oh, I'm sure, man. I'm sure it's a cool. That's cool, buddy. Let me go hang out with your buddies. If you've known them for a while, then yeah, go hang out with them. I'm not going anywhere for a while. I just started, so feel free to bounce back and forth. Maybe you get over there, tell them to come hang out over here. Maybe hit that subscribe button, a few thumbs up. Hey, you guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We only got one so far, man. I really appreciate it if you could. That's awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You write code. That's awesome. Did you ever see this TV show Code Monkeys? That was one of my favorite shows. Code Monkey like Fritos. Code Monkey like Tab and Mountain Dew. A Code Monkey, very simple man. Warm, fuzzy secret heart. A Code Monkey like you. Great TV show. I love you, whores. Sorry, that's in the song. I didn't say it. It was just in the song. But it should be on YouTube if you guys ever get a chance. Check out Code Monkeys. And it's a little TV series that. Oh, it's he who has the 9K. Oh, okay. Now I'm tracking. Now I'm tracking. But great little TV show. It's done in like the 8-bit era, and it's a cartoon kind of done in that style, and it's about gamers programming games in the 80s, and it's really funny if you're a gamer. A retro gamer, it really touches on a lot of. It's just funny. It's just funny, and they push the envelope with some stuff, so you should check it out. Never. was a nice big hit. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, I wonder where is Seth Rogen tonight. Not tonight. You're thinking about doing JROTC next year. Well, what do I think of that? Well, let's go ahead and I'm going to hit you with the honest opinion. If it looks good, first off, on any kind of transcripts you do, so if you do plan on going to college or anything such as that, looks really good. If you're planning on joining the military, well, that's a definite leg up, and that's always a plus. Um, if you're doing it just to do some extracurricular, that's a great thing. I see nothing wrong with whatsoever with doing JROTC. It's just a good all-around thing. Learn a little discipline, get a little understanding of what the military may be like if that's something that you're thinking about doing. The military is always a good experience and a good option if you can get in. It's not the easiest thing, and people will be surprised. They don't just take anybody. Yeah, it's an all-volunteer, but I think they said something like 90% of American males are unfit for duty, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to get into. But yeah, go for it. If you think that's something that you enjoy doing, yeah, man, do some JROTC, knock it out, learn some left face, and learn to beat your face. And well, yeah, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. If you ever do get into it and you want a cool cadence, man, I always came up with this really cool cadence, but I never got to do it. So yeah, it's really cool. Worked out really good. So go for it, man. Absolutely, that's what I would say. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear Peanut over there. I swear he's got CLDP or whatever that is. CLPD. He's getting so old. Butter's getting up there too. She's about 4 or 5. You thinking Marines or Navy? No. No. Well, the Navy, if you can get into the Navy, I would say go for it. If you really enjoy a lot of technical work and you're more into computers and stuff like that, absolutely go Navy. They're even harder to get into, but yeah, I'd say go for it. But the Marines, really, Marines? Nothing against Marines. No, they're. Uh, I'll tell you the Army joke that we always had going was it was the Army and the Marines are like the big brother in the family. Okay. The Air Force is the little brother. Okay. The Navy is your gay cousin, and the Coast Guard is the adopted kid. And so yeah, and of course, so people, oh my God, you said something about adopted kids. Well, my sister's adopted, so it's fine. And oh, a gay cousin. Well, I have a gay cousin, so and he's not in the Marines. I actually have a couple gay cousins, but they're not in the Marines either. And my uncle also was Coast Guard, and he did a few. I think he did like 4 or 5 years in the Coast Guard, and so yeah, we've got a lot. The whole family covered military, so I make jokes like that. And it's always just picking at family, so don't take it too seriously if I said anything that offended anybody, because it's just a joke. But Marines, if that's what you want to do. I mean, don't let anybody ever tell you don't do what you want to do. But I liked the Army better because I got to pick what job I was going to do. The Marines will ask you what job you'd like to do, and then when you finish your boot camp, they tell you either you got the job you want to do, or guess what? No, you're going to do something else, and that's that. So that's something I didn't want, and I chose I chose the job I wanted, and I got a nice bonus out of it, but it was also a different time. There was a lot more. There was middle of Iraq and Afghanistan wars. In fact, I was part of both surges. If you remember when we surged in Iraq, that was me. And then when they're like, okay, well now we're gonna surge in Afghanistan, yeah, that was me too. So good times, good times, good times. Flying in on a C-130, woo! That was pretty fun. I've been on C-17s; those are pretty cool. I never flew in an American helicopter, but I flew several times in Canadian helicopters. So that's cool. And a German helicopter. And a German helicopter. We flew in German and Canadian helicopters. And I must say, the Canadians they did the helicopter flight right. They did it right. That was a comfortable flight compared to what American, or compared to the German flight, which I have a video of. And it was them dropping us off in our base. We were being inserted into our base, which I really wouldn't say was much of a base, as so much it was some 4 dirt walls pushed out and a few tents in the middle. And they said, you got to build the base. I'm like, what do you mean you got to build the base? They're like, you got to build the base. So as soon as we landed, we got to put all our stuff down there. Okay, start separating everybody out. I was walking there, and they're like assigning tents to everybody, and they're like, "You're the generator mechanic." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a generator mechanic." They're like, "Well, we've got one generator that's working. We've got 10 that are down, and yours are expected on the way." And they're like, "Just leave your gear right here. You come start fixing generators." I'm like, "Okay. What about my gear?" They're like, "We'll take care of it." Okay. So I go over and I start getting ready to fix generators. I have no tools. I had my Gerber, and I had a few of my other generator mechanics, and they had Gerbers. So we had like 4 Gerbers. We can make something happen. So we get over to the generators. The great part about it was is I'd never seen these generators before because they were new generators that the military had ordered from a civilian contract. So one, all the training that I had done on military generators, can't use it on these types. They're completely different. They're called DRASH units, DRASH units, DRASH units. And we always called them trash units because those things broke down all the time. First thing I had to do when I got there is I had to jerry rig so many of them to get them to even get 1 or 2 working. And I was doing like just trying to figure out, looking at the like wiring diagrams and schematics. Okay, this should be working like equivalent to our piece like this, so this is this. So they have 10 that are broken. Start taking about part 4 or 5 of them to get the other 4 and 5 up with the parts. Got like 3 up that night. The next day, my generators from my base started rolling in, and I keep those pristine. So all I had to do was fluid those up, bam, 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 get them running. I did get to see my first runaway generator, and anybody who works with diesel or engines, especially diesel engines, should know what a runaway engine is. And what that is when you shut the engine off, it keeps going and it's sucking fuel through the fuel line, and the engine won't shut down. And what can happen with a diesel is that it can the RPMs can start climbing erratically, and the engine can blow. So we started having a situation like that with one of the generators that had just come in. I'd never seen one. They warned us about them in training and stuff like that. And one of them started running away. We grabbed all our gear, started running away from the engine. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, this thing's about to blow the engine. If this generator goes, though, there's no showers tonight for hot water or electricity. Nobody gets a shower tonight. So I was like, screw it. Took my weapon off and I handed it to my buddy. And I took off running. I'm like, I'm saving it. I'm saving it. I knew from when I was in auto diesel school how to stop that. So I get up there and I'm trying to squeeze shut the air intake. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, and this was so cool, all the other guys who worked with me, my sergeants, they're all coming up trying to get something to make it stop. But the funniest thing was my fucking I almost said my sergeant. He ran up and he grabbed the power cables on the batteries and he pulled them off and he's yanking on them, trying to think that that'll stop it. And in a car, you might be good, but to at least stop the working of the vehicle eventually once the alternator cranked down. But in a generator, it does what's called field flash. So it makes a magnetic field, and that magnetic field is self-sustaining as long as the generator is running. So you don't need the batteries. They actually drop off the circuit after a certain point. It just needs it to help it get initially making the magnetic field from the battery. Then the magnetic field flashes the field. The field, like a magnetic field, is generated by the generator. And then the battery circuit clicks off and just charges the batteries back up. And once they're done, it's just good to go. And it's self-sustaining until you turn the power off and kill the magnetic field. So, yeah. I don't know why I went off in that tangent. Anyway, though, so we wind up, though, that's what the battery part. Aha, that's what we were talking about. And I wound up go ahead and I pulled off the intake eventually, and I got a clipboard and I covered the intake and I choked the air out, and it shut the engine down, and I was able to correct the problem, and we had hot water shower. Yay. So I kept the lights on. I kept the AC running. There was a whole team that helped, but uh, I was the generator guy. My name was written at that was called BDOC, which is our battle headquarters for our base. My name was written on the board in my tent number. Just said generators. My name and Sergeant Helm. Good guys though. We fixed a lot of stuff. If you guys want to know what hard work is, we did. I was doing 20-hour days, and I did that for 96 days straight. 20-hour days. The Army is only required to give you 4 hours of sleep. The military is only required to give you 4 hours of sleep a day, and it does not have to be consecutive. And what do you mean? What does consecutive mean? Well, what they can do is they can let you have 15 minutes of sleep here, 30 minutes of sleep here, an hour of sleep here, um, and it has to add up to 4 hours in a 24-hour period. So a lot of the times, though, what I was trying to do was is when it got to be late, and I could see the other soldiers, especially the privates. It's just the way the military works. Is you could see they were starting to get sluggish and slow, younger kids, you know. So you send them home, let them go get some rest, and I would stay up and keep working with my sergeant and the other specialists, and we would stay there late, and then just because I was off work at the for the day at the motor pool, and this is all deployed, of course. Um, in the middle of the night, all the time, people would come in my tent. Hey, green bomb generators down. We need your help. And you'd be surprised the dumbest things that would go down for. I'd get over there and be like, it says there's low oil. I'm like, did you start it? Yeah. And then the low oil light kicks on, and so we came and got you. I'm like, oh my god, put oil in it. Oh, that's all? Well, what would you do? I couldn't believe the things they used to wake me up for. One time they woke me up and they said half our tent has no power. I'm like, what do you mean half your tent has no power? Like, we don't know. Half our tent has no power. Okay, so get up, have to put on. Now remember, when you're sleeping in something like this: t-shirt, shorts, white socks, and that's what you're sleeping in. Now to get up and go do work, I have to completely get dressed, which means I have to put on green socks. I have to get my pants on. I have to get my uniform top on, put my t-shirt on, get my hat, get my weapon, get my tools. And I had what was really nice was Sergeant Helm was beast mode. He ordered this backpack, and it was a mobile backpack for tools. So at least all you had to do was, and normally I would when they would come in the tent, Sergeant Helm would be like, I would let Sergeant Helm sleep, and I would like to go take care of these things because it's usually quick, easy fixes, and there's no point in waking up two people when it really just required me and about 20 minutes of diagnosis, and I'll get it done. So uh, I get over to their tent, and I'm like, all right, let's check it out. Generators operating fine. This half of the tent's got power, this half doesn't. I'm like, what the heck? I go to the box, I check the box, everything's looking good. Throw my multimeter in testing. Basically, what wound up happening is I traced the power all the way down, and guess what happened? They unplugged an extension cord, an unplugged extension cord. Now, I turned to the sergeant in the tent and I came and I said, Sergeant, the bill's in the mail. What would you do in your house if all of a sudden the power went out on half your house and you had people plugged in extension cords? I checked the extension cord. I'm like, you wouldn't call an electrician? He was like, no, I would check everything first. There you go. Don't call me for simple stuff like this. I remember I'd been up already. PT in Afghanistan, I didn't do a whole lot of PT because I was always working. Always. There wasn't time for me to do PT. I was always excused from PT because I would get up at about 5 in the morning and I'd get dressed, get cleaned up, shower, shave, brush my teeth, all that good stuff. Go hit breakfast by about 6:15, 6:30. I was at the motor pool, knock out my daily inspections, and jump in the truck to start doing rounds and everything. We had our breaks for lunch and stuff, but not at first. At first, we didn't have lunch. It was just breakfast, and then lunch was whatever you could find, and then there was a hot dinner. So, luckily for me, though, I planned on this. I planned on this. They told us we were going to Afghanistan to build a base. I did have my security clearance, so I got heads up on what was going on. And so I went to when we were getting ready to leave, I packed tons and tons of stuff to cook. A rice cooker, spaghetti noodles, because I knew there's water, you can boil this, because in Iraq I'd already gone through this and trying to how to make food for everybody and not have to go eat the same stuff. So I was kind of like had a heads up on what I was expecting. My buddy and I had packed seeds because we were going to start a garden while we were there, and he was like, where are we going to get the water to water it? And I was like, oh, that's simple. We'll just put buckets underneath the AC units, and we'll capture the melting water off the evaporators, and we'll put 4 or 5 buckets out, and that'll water our garden, and we'll have a garden for fresh vegetables while we're there. But some sick circumstances came up. All right, Brad. Hey, man. Thanks for stopping by, man. Well, let me say later. Later. So he didn't wind up getting to go. Some circumstances came up. People are actually watching this. You guys actually listen to me, or is this just boring? Or Or you guys just like, well, I don't want to cut him off because of anything. Because this is just old stupid stories. If this is boring to you guys, just let me know and we'll move on to some other conversation or something like that. So I'll give you guys a second. I know there's like a delay on this, so I have to wait for you guys to catch up to actually see what you actually want to say when you guys type it. So we're waiting. Hak moet jetzt mein Hund nein? Du verstehen, ja? Shalom. Here, Phil. Here. Oh, okay. Well, good. As long as you guys are enjoying, I'll be happy to tell you. And this is all just from my perspective of things, but I'm just telling it to you straight, not indulging, telling honest stories, just things I remember. So thank you. Okay, as long as you guys are enjoying, I'll keep going with it. Let's see. So let's see. Back to Afghanistan. So we're building bases up, and we wound up. And when I tell you the reason I had so much work was, is we wound up having I think about 5,000 troops on the base with us about 6 months in. I was allowed to put one, two, three, four, five, 10 people in a tent, and each tent needed its own generator and its own AC unit. So we had housing blocks A through J, and there was 7 in each row. So it was A1 through 7, A2 through 7, and each block had 3 tents in it. So if that tells you anything, that's how many. That was just for housing. So those were the generators I maintained. I wouldn't say don't. When I say me, don't take it as just a team. We as a team maintained those. But I would say that Sergeant. I was always like this because I wasn't high ranking when I was in Afghanistan. I was a specialist. I made my sergeant later on when I got to Fort Campbell. But we had a team set up. My sergeants pretty much stayed in the bays to take in work orders and everything like that and work on what was there. We would work on what we could in the morning, and then I would have to go out with a team. And we took 2 trucks, which were called contact trucks. And contact trucks are full of every possible tool you could think you could ever need to fix anything. All kinds of equipment built into it, loaded up with all kinds of extra goodies and vacuum pumps, everything you would need to maintain a generator, ACs, all kinds of stuff. I did more than just that too. I would bargain my time out for stuff, and you'd be surprised. Like what was called the S6 shop, which was supply. The people who brought us in our stuff when we ordered it. And you can get lots of good stuff through supply. So they would call up and say, hey, and when I'd say call up, we had radios and I had cell phones from locals over there. The minutes were wicked expensive, so but people had them. And I would, or my sergeant, he would call me on the little handheld. Hey man, I got S6 saying they need somebody to go over there right away. I'd be like, all right. So I'll swing by, go by. What's going on, guys? Well, we got this little generator we use, and it's not running. I'm like, well, look, dude, I got tons of other stuff to do. Look at my list. It's full of generators that need to be fixed. I can throw you on the bottom. I can probably be here by like 2,200 hours. That's 10 o'clock at night. And they're like, no, we need this up now. I'm like, oh, jeez, what are you gonna do? And they're like, well, tell you what, come here with me. Okay. They opened up this trailer for me, and they're like, pick out what you want. I'm like, oh snap! So I started grabbing extra gloves, and you'd be surprised, like things like that, gloves, little chairs, little folding chairs, um, extra pairs of socks. These things are more valuable than money over there. Money was almost practically useless the first 4 months I was there. There was no way to get money, and let alone spend it on anything. But at least if you knew your bank account, you could order stuff off of Amazon once the mail system finally got up and running correctly. But so stuff like that was more useful. And to get gloves for my guys, I'll take 6 pairs of gloves and 3 chairs. Take 2 chairs, give one to my sergeant, and their generator probably just needed like a little tweak on something. Fixed, up and running, boom, and I'm off back to my job. When I would work for the kitchen people, when the kitchen people called, our generator's down and we need it up now. Look at my list. Look at my list. Well, we need it right now, and I'll make it worth your while. I'm on my way. And then I'd jump in my truck and I'd zoom over there, and of course I'd get their generator up and going, and they'd have a case of Gatorade for me. A case of Gatorade, oh my god. and it's the yellow kind. Ooh, maybe they'll mix half in red. Oh, snap crackles. Throw that in the truck, fix it all up, drive it back to my guys. We get extra Gatorades. Yeah, Gatorades. That was what was worth more than anything. Stuff like that. Or if we could get extra energy drinks. Oh, that was gold. Rippets were gold. You guys have no idea. They gave us these little cans of Rippets and they were gold. And we told my sergeant when we first got there, it was his first deployment. And we're like, you're going to have a Rippet and you're going to be hooked on Rippets. And he was like, yeah, I think I've got the video somewhere of him drinking his first Rippet. And you guys have no idea. Rippets were like gold. If you had a case of Rippets, we got hooked up. The generator mechanic guys got hooked up. You know, nothing runs without power over there. Nothing. And it was all on generators. So I got an award from the sergeant major, and I felt kind of like I didn't deserve it. And all I did was it was a Sunday, which was they finally gave us our days off, 96 days straight, 20-hour days, and they finally gave us a day off. So I think it was like my second day off ever, and eventually what they started doing was they made it so on the weekends we only went in and we stayed in the shop, and if anything went down, we only responded to that by noon. After that, it was just come get me. And at least I was like, look, I don't mind popping in and out. I'm bored anyway. So if you know, I like running around and hooking things up and fixing stuff. It kept me active and kept my mind busy. And if I was busy, I didn't, just kept you busy. So I was at the. We eventually got what was called a bazaar. So the locals would come in with a bunch of stuff once we were able to access money, and they would buy. You could buy stuff from them, like gifts to send home to the family, and chessboards and DVDs and stuff like that. And I loved the bazaar. The bazaars were great. You get a haircut. The guy had a little hooked up to a generator, give you a nice fade. Nice people there, great people. One of the local barbers there who'd come in, and what they did was they had these connexes, so like big shipping containers, and they would open them up and they would set up shops inside of those, and they would wire it up, chairs and everything, and it was just like and they would just close it up at night and open it up in the day for the shop, and it was really nice. By the time we left, it was a really nice base. Um, but I would buy all kinds, DVDs, and you can get your smokes there. And eventually, they started bringing us monsters, and that was cool. But that took a long time. I got to travel to another base to go do some work, and I got to their PX, and they had the little monster energy shots. And I guess they were all like getting ready to expire, which doesn't mean crap. That just means that best sale date is usually what that means. But they were all 75% off, and they were normally like $1. So I bought them all for 25 cents, and I'm walking back with a case of these things, and everyone's just laughing at me. But that was fine, because when I got back to my base and I took all these little bottles with me, I was selling them on my base for $2 a pop. And because we didn't have them, um, those were worth more than anything. Those sold out so quickly, and I used a lot of my own product. But that was okay. I got them more than paid for, and I made some money on them. And any opportunity like that was always smart, and I thought I had it like that. In Iraq, I had two businesses because my roommate had a terrible snore. It kept me awake so bad. It was affecting my job, so I had to drink energy drinks to stay awake, and I was drinking like 4 or 5 a day of the big cans. So to pay for that, I sold Red Bull to my teammates, and I had a delivery service on Tuesday and Thursdays. So I would go pick up what anybody wanted plus $2 the cost of the item, and I would go to the PX for you and pick up. Generally, it was pizza runs, and what they would do was they would order a stuffed crust pizza, pepperoni, which was like 16.75, and they would give me a 20, and I would just keep the change. So I was making, and I would usually deliver about 8 or 9 pizzas, $3 or $4 a pizza. So I'd make about $40 on Tuesday, $40 on Wednesday. The Red Bull business was usually a steady flow. I would make about $100 a case. Uh, so I was making a good, decent little side business. But I was also sending money home to my mom and my sister, and so I wanted to make sure I had plenty of cash on hand to help them. And as long as my needs were met and I was able to help them out, that was cool. And the little side business, I didn't mind because I had to go to the PX anyway, and I was like, might as well take the extra 15, 20 minutes, write up a list, pick up what people want, and basically I just worked on. They wanted to sit and play video games. I'm like, well, we got lots of time. Iraq, we had lots of downtime. I had a very steady shift for 10 months. It was an 8-hour shift. I do not. I'm sorry, there, Trap God CEO. But I did promise him a shout out, so let's. I do want to shout out there to Trap God CEO. He asked for a shout out a while ago, and I needed to do one for him. He's been following a little bit. Komari, oh, what's up, man? Go Army. That's right. That's right. Yeah, bud. What's up, man? We're gonna talk. He's chatting with me. So let's see what else. So like I said, in Iraq, I had a very steady schedule, and then for 10 months, I was there for 15 months in Iraq. So 10 months of that, I did security details. I did go on foot patrol for a 5-day mission on foot patrol. I have a picture of when we got done with that. That was really a lot of fun. I'm not sure what. Yeah, the PT shirt. I love my PT shirt still, man. I still rock it. It's still so comfortable. So yeah. Okay. Uh, so I was doing guard duty over there for 10 months. Most of it, I was doing some stuff I'm still not supposed to talk about. That was some of the other missions that I was working on that as a security detail. But the stuff I did, I can talk about. I was part of a 113 tank, and we were considered what was called a FLP, or final line of protection. So the way our gate was set up was if someone tried to enter illegally or make an attack on us, we had attack trucks that would be the first to respond and go forward. And then my job was we were in the back of this armored vehicle. My buddy was the driver, and I was the 50 cal gunner on top. And we would race down, and there was what we called a choke point. So where the lanes where all the traffic coming in and out where we were would narrow into one lane. And what we would do is we would park our 32-ton tank sideways. I'm talking about it, man. Um, yeah, do I have any guns? You should go check out that other video I just loaded, Bone versus Bullet. That's one of my guns I have. Um, Guys, let's not be no, don't let's not throw insults at people. We don't want that kind of we don't want that kind of thing going on. Rather have good conversation, everyone hanging out. So that was our job, was to close that down. I ran other positions too. I ran some of the gun trucks because they would rotate people out. There were forward positions. We had a Barrett 50 cal up in a tower, and there was some other stuff. We had some really cool toys they gave us to play with to use, and those were really fun. Did a lot of really cool stuff. Um, I know they've talked about it on the History Channel, so I know I can talk about it. It was called an LRAD system, which is a long range acoustic device. Why am I not there? I'm not in the military anymore. I got out. My arm got messed up. I had to have some shoulder surgery. It didn't quite work out, so the military told me it was time to go. And I think I was done playing anyway. But it happens. I did 7 years, 2 deployments, 26 months in a combat zone. No, no, I'm not going to, because I'm still not sure if that's allowed to, and that would still be considered stuff that could be. Oh, no big deal. No big deal. No big deal, Jordan. Um, but no, I'm not going to talk about any of that. Not if you can't find it online about some stuff. They've talked about it. You've seen it. You've probably heard about it. But I'm not supposed to talk about it for a while. I don't know if it's been declassified, so I'm not going to touch on that subject. But it wasn't something super. It was just some really cool toys. It was the toys we got with it. I don't know. I don't know what would happen, and I'm not going to attempt it. I do remember, though. I'll tell you this story though about some of the equipment. They had a military news reporter who came into our area, and she wanted to do interviews with people. And what I was doing was I was using technology to scan trucks in a system. I guess I could say like an X-ray. And I wasn't allowed to talk about how the system operated. And she tried to do an interview with me, and we had to wind up. They wound up scrubbing the entire interview with me because I couldn't answer half the questions because she didn't have the security clearance and it wasn't need to know information, so I couldn't tell anybody. So my whole interview got scrubbed. So yeah, I did some other stuff, and again though, because of my job in the military, I was a generator mechanic. But when I was doing my generator training, I was selected for what was called an ASI, which is an additional signal identifier school. So I stayed there for another 2 months to do training on a specific type of equipment, which was my Patriot missile defense system training. So I did that, and then that got me a security clearance. So with the security clearance, it opened up a lot of options for schooling when they asked for who wanted to do this type of job, but this is what's needed to qualify. Hey Lex, what's going on? I'm just telling some old army stories, and people are asking about Iraq and Afghanistan. So maybe we should change it to that since that's what we're kind of talking about. Um, Let me go ahead and just change that title because I think that that would be better. Because we're kind of just talking army here, don't you guys agree? We're doing army talk. There we go. All right, so let's see, where were we? I lost my place. Okay, so so that's what I was doing, and we had found I found some cool stuff. Like I saved, I wouldn't say saved lives, but there were some lives. Okay, Jordan. Well, hey man, thanks for stopping in, dude. I do appreciate you hanging out. So what else? Let's see some more stories. Um, trying to think of some. We had what? Oh, this is cool. They had what was called C Rams, which is forget what it stands for. Um, but basically what it was is it fired 9 millimeter rounds, but it fired them at like a rate of like 1,000 rounds a second, and they were used to shoot down more incoming mortars. You guys can check it out on YouTube if you ever want to. It's called a CRAM, 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 and they lock onto mortars and they shoot them out of the sky. It is so cool to see them go off at night when they have all the tracers going. The thing I don't even know how to describe the sound. It's so many rounds, but they've got video of it all over the internet. Um, Hello, Susan. Thanks for stopping in. So the Sea Rams would go off at night. One time there was an attack on the base. They dropped like 5 mortars at once, and all the Sea Rams on base locked onto where the mortars were coming in. And you just heard all over the base, and then there was just like it was a sky full of the tracer rounds, all these red rounds, and you could just see the mortars exploding in the sky. It was so cool. I mean, I guess it could have been a scary one. The alarm's going off, and it's telling us, this. Let's see. We always used to say "Thank you, God" when the alarm would go off, and it go, "This is the command post. This is the command post. We are receiving indirect fire. This is not a drill. Take cover. Take cover. All clear. All clear. The indirect fire attack has ended. Be mindful for UXOs, which is unexploded ordnance." And then all clear. All clear. After a while, though, thanks God. And then, kind of after a while, you get used to it and you just kind of ignore it, and it wasn't a big deal. Ah, good times, good times. How you been doing, Susan? We were just talking old army stories here, telling sometimes guns are bad. Well, guns can be bad. Guns aren't bad. Nothing is bad. People are bad. An inanimate object can't be bad. Anything can be used for good or bad. It's the way you use it is what determines on. It's the intent. I got smoke in my eye. I mean, I guess you could say a car is bad because drunk drivers can use them in the same way, but we don't. We blame the person because it's the way you use something that makes it bad. Look at this like this too. What would happen if I said yes to your soldiers? If you say yes to your soldiers, I don't understand. But there's also good people. I think there's a lot of good people in this world. I get along with everybody. I love hanging out with everybody. Everybody's different and they come up with different unique points, and I think that's awesome. So, wee! Totally rock on. It could be. It very well could be. It very well could be. You'd be surprised what you could do with a butter knife ground down. What are we talking about? I don't know. I was doing. We were talking. What would happen if you said yes to your commander? I had to say yes to my commander all the time. Greenbaum, you're going to show up for PT. You understand? Yes, sir. It was very. I say we had to say yes all the time. But there was also times I said no. I knew more about my job than my commander. What would happen if I said yes to my commander? Then I would do what I told my commander told me to do. Doesn't seem very difficult. Oh, well, thank you, Susan. I do appreciate it. I try. Look at the dimples. I got double dimples. I was always having fun. When I was in Iraq, I'll tell you this, my interpreter, and now I got him to live in America, and I'm so happy he's here and his family is safe and everything. Um, I couldn't go outside of my base, but I wanted to have a way to say thank you to his village. So I got my grandma to mail me a big box of coloring books and crayons, and then I gave it to him to please pass out to all the kids in his village. And I was to tell him it's from me, and he did. And I finally got to meet his kids because I made sure his kids got some as well. He had 3 kids at the time. Now he has 4. But I made sure that his kids got some, and I never got to meet them. And about a year ago was the first time I finally got to drive. I was going through Knoxville, and he lives there now. And I happened to pass through, and I was like, while we're here, we'll stop and say hi to him because I hadn't seen him since Iraq when I left in 08, 09. Yeah, right before 09, right at the end. What would happen if I said yes, sir, and no, sir? Um, it all depends on the situation. Greenbaum, we have PT tomorrow at 06 instead of 06:30. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Do you understand? No, sir. Or one time I was working on a generator and I was trying to figure out a system to rig it so that I could have so I wouldn't have to fill it up as much with fuel. So I made this what was called a day tank, where you take a big barrel and you hook up the pump in a certain way. But I'm going over this the fuel pump schematic or diagram so that I can understand where which hose I need to pull, because on diesels they also have a return line. So some of the fuel gets pumped back into the gas tank. And my commander, my captain, comes up and he goes, yeah, you should do it this way. And I'm like, no, no, sir, I don't think that'll work, sir. No, 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 sir. Stop, sir. I got this. I got this. My staff sergeant, who was a great guy, and he was an Islander, big Islander guy, Sergeant Tafuga. Well, join the Air Force. That's cool too, man. Go for it. Absolutely. So he comes over and he sees that I'm struggling with it. And I was like, I finally figured it out. And I'm trying to implement it, but my commanders and Green Mom, no, oh, no, sir, don't. I got this. The Sergeant Tafuga comes over and goes, sir, what's that over there? We got to check this. Hurry, come with me. And commander starts running off. And Sergeant Tafuga's like, just get it done. So I was like, got it. I figured it out. Popped these 2, stuck it in. We're up, and we were done. But yeah. So yeah, saying no to if one of the commanding officers, sometimes you have to say no. One time my sergeant told me he wanted me to set up a wiring scheme for wiring these tents, and I was like, no, that's not the way we've been doing it for the last 6 months. I'm not gonna do it that way. And when he walked away, I got first sergeant to come over, and I talked to him, and I was like, first sergeant, I've been doing it this way, this way, this way. I want to keep doing this. And he's like, yep, do it that way. Cool. And then when my sergeant came back, he's like, if I was disrespectful, I did get disrespectful one time, but my commander let it slide because it was of the circumstances. My grandfather was passing away, and I was in Afghanistan, and I didn't get disrespectful to him, but I did use some profanity, but they let it slide because they knew that it was like, come on. And my command had approved for me to go to see my grandfather because he was past dying, literally. And he had served 22 years, a veteran asking for another veteran to be there by his side. My command approved it, but the next level did not, and I didn't get to go. So, but I got a little disrespectful then, and that was the only time I'd never been disrespectful before. And they understood that it was just because of what was going on, and they let it slide. So it's also command discretion, and I think that he understood that it was just that way. But yeah, so these things happen. That's all I got to say about that. But I never, when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan, I liked my chain of command. I was a little bit of a troublemaker, but they knew I worked hard and I did my job, and I was never disrespectful. So I enjoyed my chain of command in Iraq and Afghanistan for the unit I was with. I was with the 557 Maintenance Company, and I was I enjoyed who I worked with. I loved the people I worked with. I got along with most everybody, so it wasn't like it was too much of a difficult time. When you enjoy the people you're with, it was a tight knit group because we were in the desert. Well, if that's what you got to do, my grandfather, he was 17 and he lied and signed up for the military early. He signed up for 3 years instead of getting drafted for 5. So a little sneaky there, but it worked out for everybody. Great grandpa did the military, grandpa did the military, dad did the military, I did the military, my uncle was in the military, my great uncle, my grandfather on the other side was in the military. We're a big military family, big military family. Lots of history. I think combined we have over 100 years between us all. About over 100 years. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, it was a good stepping stone. I learned a lot, met some cool people, know some cool people, know some cool people doing some really cool stuff. One of my buddies, he's got a wood carving business that's taken off. He does for veterans and stuff like that, and it's doing really well. Yeah, so good for him. I'll have to get you guys the website too, so if you guys ever want to order anything. No, I never took. They understood that. My chain of command understood that when you voice your opinion in a very strong way in the military, but you're good at what you do, it's hard to not respect the person. And I've read some of my awards from that I got while I was in the military, and reading some of them, I had no idea people wrote these amazing things about me, about how my work ethic and how hard I was working. And sometimes it almost brings a tear to the eye. Like, wow, somebody noticed that all the hard work I was putting in over there. How do I act when I get mad? I don't know. It's different. I do have PTSD. Did the picture move again, Phil? How do I act when I get mad? I guess. See, you got to understand what PTSD is to understand when people say mad. It's not mad. What happens with PTSD is your brain is a muscle, okay? And just like any muscle, when you exercise it, um, the muscle grows. And what happens with the military service is that you get used to doing such a react so quickly, go from nothing to 0 to 100 so quickly over and over. Your adrenal gland uh, gets overworked, and you wind up basically being able to go from 0 to 100 without meaning to. And a simple situation, which is really weird, is like any kind of work. And when I start cutting the lawn, it gets me pumped up a little too much, and then my shoulder starts hurting, and then pain plus pumped up. The vodka, Phil's on the vodka. So pain and work associate with it's go time, and your brain dumps an overworked adrenal gland's worth of adrenaline into your system, and that gets you into go mode so quickly. And that's what happens with PTSD. So the slightest little things can set you off and turn that go mode on, and it's really not necessary, but there's really no way to turn that off once you do. No, that's fine. But the Illuminati, I don't think so reasonably. Is it possible? Well, anything is possible, but I've never seen anything that would suggest otherwise. I have family members who are Freemasons, and I don't think that they're in some kind of secret club meeting. Is it possible? Does Bilderberg stuff in meetings at the stuff happen? Sure, we know it's a fact. It does happen, but I really don't think there's a bunch of guys in suits sitting behind tables going, "Yes, Smithers, press the button, make them all disappear, release the hounds." I just don't see that. But is it possible? Well, of course, anything's possible. So who am I to say? So I hope that answers your question. How would I can't say that it does or doesn't because I don't know. So if I say yes, it does, how would I be able to tell you that? If I said no, it doesn't, would you even believe? If I did know about it and I'm not telling you, would you believe me anyway? Or maybe I'm in it and I would have to tell you no because I would need to throw you off. See, it's just too many questions, not enough answers. So I'm going to go ahead and write it off as I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I do not know. If they do, I don't know. I mean, America's pretty cool. I think we're doing some good stuff. I think Britain's doing some good stuff. I think there's some good people all over the world doing good stuff. And yeah, I think we should just keep doing good stuff. I could get more. Does the devil have play in the army? Well, you're asking some very odd questions, I must say. But the devil to have play in the army, you would have to recognize that there's a devil, which I do not. So that argument is no. So the answer to that question would be, in my aspect, no. But anyway, have I seen any strange things? Yes, I did. When I first got to my base out at Fort Irwin in the middle of the desert, I saw something very strange and some very strange happenings out there. We'll save that for a later video, but it was really weird. I see strange things here all the time. Other people have seen it too. So there's some ghostlies around here, I think. I believe in energies because energy can't be destroyed. It can only change form. That's basic physics. So if your body has energy in it, which we know it does, then it's possible that when something goes away, there's other energy forms. So that's very, very possible. So pushy, so pushy. Calm down, young man. Not so many questions. Give it a minute. There's a little bit of a lag. You gotta slow down. I'm gonna answer everybody's questions as best as I can. We're gonna be here for a while. We're only in the first hour. I usually go at least 2 hours. So we've got time. Hang tight. Everything's gonna be answered in a timely and orderly fashion. Yup. I'll say this though, if there is the Illuminati and it's supposed to be all these evil Jews who got together, I'm Jewish and no one gave me the memo. Her tapping upstairs. Yeah, so no one gave me the memo. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Does Jake? I'm not strange. I'm unique. People talk about, oh, they broke the mold with this one. No, I was handcrafted. I think differently than others. I see other things in a different view, and some may call that weird or crazy, but that's just the way. Well, thank you. Um I wouldn't say I'm no smarter than any other person. I like to approach things with a logical point of view. Um, but thank you. I do appreciate it. I was told I have a voice for radio because I have no accent. So 107.5 coming at you live. Stay tuned on the 107.5 dial. We're going to come at you live. Here's something too I like to do. Can I tell you more about me and the good and caring I do for others? Um, what do you want to know about me? I'm actually kind of a selfish person. Uh, there's a lot of stuff that's gone on in my life. um, when they say life isn't fair, trust me, just because it looks like things turn out good for somebody doesn't mean understand what they've gone through before in the past. So that's something I always try to do is never judge anybody and realize they may be going through things that you haven't gone through, but everyone's still responsible for themselves. Everyone's still responsible for themselves, but people's lives have had dramatic differences than each other's. But again, that's no excuse for anything. People, well, that's not fair. People have gone through hardships, and well, I've gone through hardships too, just in a different way, and not just the military, which I signed up for that. So that's on me too, and I do appreciate everybody, uh, um, everybody who now, the VA takes good care of me. So all my people in America who give up that, thank you so much. You guys take good care of me, and I appreciate it. And it was an honor and a pleasure to serve in the United States military. Oh, that's awesome, Phil. Good for you, bud. That's awesome. Awesome. I was always kind of the goofy person in the military too, because I was always trying to make people laugh. Because one, you can't sleep if you're laughing. You know who was a saint though? My grandmother. If you guys could ever have met my grandmother, she passed away a couple years ago. She was truly what I would say is a saint. And if there is a heaven, she definitely got in. And if that's the standard of what it takes, we're all in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. What a sweet woman. Okay, so you want to know about me. What more do you want to know about me? I do think of myself as a selfish person, but I do also try to help others because I was taught to do so. But um, I definitely make sure I'm taken care of to what I want, and then I extend out to others any assistance I can. But I'm still selfish just like anybody else. But have I done selfless things? Well, of course. But like even the military, I had my own reasons. I knew what I was signing up for, and I did have my own reasons. There was two goals I wanted to accomplish while I was in the military. Is one was get my college that I had just racked up a giant bill paid for, which it did, and I wanted to make sergeant so that my dad, who retired as a sergeant first class, and he was Sergeant Greenbaum, I wanted to at least be a sergeant so that I could say to my dad, Sergeant, Sergeant Greenbaum, and he could Sergeant Greenbaum to me, and it would be something about that. Tell me about your past family. Like what? I grew up in a military family, so we bounced all over the United States most of my life. I was born in Germany as a U.S. citizen born abroad. We moved. I've lived in Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, Maryland, California. I've been to about 35 of the 50 United States. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Romania. I've been to Ireland. I've been to Kyrgyzstan. I've been to Iraq. I've been to Kuwait. I've been to Afghanistan. Um, did I say Kyrgyzstan? Been to Kyrgyzstan. Um, I've always wanted to go to Canada. I've got family from Canada. My mom's side of the family was Canadian, and yeah, so I wanted to always go meet that side. Um, yeah. If you guys remember the movie with Mel Gibson, oh, the people I've looked up to. My dad. My dad is one of my biggest role models in my life. I looked up to my brother. Even he passed away though when I was young, but he was a big influence in my life. Um, I don't know. That's a tough question. My grandpa. I looked up strongly to my grandpa's example. I looked so much like him, and I had so much behavior like him. I think him and I connected, and I looked highly up to my grandfather. My uncles I look highly up to. My great uncle, my uncle who's here. You guys can see videos of Uncle Sean, and everybody calls him Uncle Sean who's here. My friend from Iraq, I talk to him at least once a week, bare minimum. He's one of my best friends in the entire world. I look up to him like no other. Good guy, Cipollone, my Italian buddy. It's good. I love when he's around because he understands the crazy humor and the bits of twistedness that come from the military, and he gets it, and he's just like me, so we get along great. And that's my best friend in the world. You got family in Canada as well? Awesome, sweet. I've got family in Nova Scotia, is what I do know. Some family in Nova Scotia. Never been up there. Always wanted to go. Um, so let's see. What's some other army stuff I can tell you guys about? What was some fun stuff we used to do? Well, I did do this. My roommate wound up having to leave Iraq because he tried to draw a weapon on our sergeant, and I wound up pinning the weapon between him and myself so that he couldn't raise the weapon. He was a bigger guy, and I just came up to him and I grabbed his body armor and I pulled him into me, and his weapon was across his chest. So when he went to go charge the weapon and get ready to raise it, I smashed it between the two of us. It was like, nah, dude, don't do this, don't do this. It's not worth it. So they wound up kicking him out, and he got sent back. And so I got a whole big room to myself, which was amazing. So what I did was I took all the extra furniture and I pushed it up against one wall, so we opened it up. And when we would get off of work, I would go back to my room. Everyone would eat everything, and we're all chilling. And I would set up. I bought a full Rock Band kit from PlayStation 2, and I would set it up. And I had a TV, and I had a nice little fridge set up. If I ever showed you guys pictures on my Facebook, I have them. My little room in Iraq, I set it up like a nice little hotel room. It was all cool. Peanut, jeez, dude. So, oh, yours is in Toronto. Okay, rock on. Go Maple Leafs. So, we would set the rock band up. We'd have drums going, microphone. I was on bass. My buddy Stork was on. And when I say people by name, that was their name. His name was Stork, Specialist Stork. And he would be on guitar, and that kid could fly on some rock band back in the day. So we used to rock it and jam out on that. A lot of fun, good times playing all that times. Uh, we lived in trailers then. That wasn't too bad. Little two-man room trailers, and it was just a square room, bed over here, two wall lockers in the middle to separate, and you got your space and his space. And one trailer would be like a single wide trailer and had three of those units in each one, and then shower and water were elsewhere. You go to the showers and the bathroom stalls. Those were great. Those worked good. We lost water though because a cow fell into our water supply, which was the canals outside of the base. And they would clean the water there on base, and the locals had to block the canals off to get the dead cow out. So we lost water for like a month and a half. So that was kind of hard. That sucked. We could only shower on every other odd day. We could only wash so much clothing. Huh, maybe we got some more people from the UK. I love when the UK fans come by to hang out and chill. If you guys are just joining and you're not new, I think everybody I know who's all in here, but just in case someone jumps in, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe button. Appreciate it. Anyway, so what was some of the other things we did? There was a bunch of kids that used to show up to my position every morning. What happened was is they dropped a mortar on our when we were guarding the entrance to the base, and they blew a hole in the fence. So what they did was is since me and my buddy were driving on that tank, they were like, well, the tank can easily still get in position from where the hole is. So let's put the tank in the hole until they fix the fence. And they were like, what they wound up doing was instead of fixing the fence, they decided to go ahead and rebuild the entire thing. So they would just have us sit there for a month while they put the new barriers in instead of wasting money on putting in the old one. So we sat out there for a month in this hole that was open up to their field, and these kids used to come by in the morning, and they were just herding goats and stuff like that. And they were nice kids, and talked to them every morning, hello, and you talk to them. They spoke a little bit of English, and I spoke a little bit of Arabic back then. I was able to communicate well enough to them. And you'd be surprised what kind of TV. Oh, you live in a bungalow? I would love to live in a tiny house. But well, that's cool. Yeah, nice small space. I got this place is way too big. My house is way too big. Just way too big. I don't know why I bought such a big place. I don't know what I was thinking. But I guess it'll pay off in the end when I go back to sell it years later. Who knows? But yep, yep. They by the time we had a movie theater in Iraq, which was really cool to go do. We had a pool. I got to swim in Saddam's pool. That was really cool because the base I was on was Saddam's old Air Force base, and we took over it. So a lot of the roads were built. There was a runway already built, so we were able to use that. And but there was a lot of amenities on the base. Like I said, a swimming pool, which was really cool, nice to have, and you could go swimming. They used to do that sometimes for PT. We would show up at the gym. Who wants to do what? I want to go swim for PT because that's a full body workout. So just go play in the pool. It's hot in the morning. Get a nice cool dip. Swim around. Get all clean. Have fun. Play in the water. That's a workout. I don't know why more people didn't do that. Swimming in the pool is a great workout. You burn so many calories. It's hard to swim now with my shoulder, so when I do go, I like to just float around. I use my left arm to move around a lot, but my right arm I don't swim. I'm more doggy paddle now, if anything. Kind of have to, so just use the wrist and no shoulder, no shoulder. Uh, but that's cool. But yeah, so nice dip, early morning pool for PT. Get changed, go grab some breakfast. I will say the food in Iraq was awesome. They had a company come in that handled all our food needs, and that was awesome. You could get dang near anything. And then all the drinks and juices and man, ice cream bar, and oh man, the whipped topping was the best I've ever had in my life, best I've ever had in my life. You guys don't know what whipped topping is. So yeah, when I was a kid, I did fly some airplanes. Susan, where are you from? First off, because I'm not sure. You got family from Canada, but yeah. So I'm just trying to check where are you from, Susan? Susan, don't know where you're from, Susan. If we don't know, we'll all be losing, Susan. Susan Smith. It's happy to meet you. I'm glad that you were able to stop in and check out our live stream. That's right, just me, Sean Connery. Happy to have you here. Phil Office Tree is always a pleasure. Glad to have you on board. Or would you like to swing on a star and carry moonbeams home in a jar and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a fish? Peanut was singing last night. It was so funny. I think it was La Vida Loca. He was singing to La Vida Loca. It was on Full House. The wife was watching. Okay, I watch it too. Not gonna lie. It would be so cool if they could finally get the Olsen twins though to make an appearance on that show. But I think they don't really want to. Maybe want to stay away from that. What are you laughing at, Phil? My rendition of Susan? She still hasn't answered. I think Susan's gone now. To the Batcave. All right. Wowies. Louis Caboodles. Yeah, yeah. That'll do it. Uh, Anywho. What was what, Phil? What was what? You saw nothing. There we go. I just wanted to change that caption real quick. Yeah, it looks like everybody dipped on us, Phil. Just you and me now, bud. Oh well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? All right. All right. Please stop. Right. All right. So, Phil, what I say? What funny thing I? What I say? Huh? What I say? What did I say? I didn't say nothing. What did I say? I don't know, Phil. Tripping me out, man. I don't know what you mean. I'm trying to figure out which funny thing I said. I don't remember anything funny. Let's do it this way. This will be a lot faster if I just talk to you like this. Oh wow, Phil, thank you. You brighten up the broadcast. Blah 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 blah. That's what you laughed about. Butter. I didn't realize she was back there. Hey, move your butt. Stubborn pit. Stop. Look at her just being like that. Sometimes I'm glad though when the chat gets empty and people stop coming in because then I get a break. And that's nice because then I can not have to think about so much army stories and try to come up with another one that was funny. I mean, there's tons of them, but it's just always hard to come up with them. I guess not. But then again, though, like here in America, it's only 8 where I am, so it's only like 6 o'clock in California and stuff like that. So there's still, there's still people probably just getting ready to sign on. So I'm still going to be here for at least another half hour. And if we get any kind of an audience built and talking stories here, maybe we'll keep going. But doesn't look, maybe not, maybe not. That's cool too, though. It is Sunday. Everyone's got to get ready for work and jobs and school tomorrow. So I understand, completely understand. I will be jumping on some Call of Duty later, but yeah, people get busy. No Seth Rogen tonight. No, he didn't stop by and torment me any further. Which is good, which is good. You got me good on that one. But yeah, everyone kind of dipped. I was expecting people to be on a little more. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We'll get some more going. People will join in eventually. People will join in. And I do enjoy a break because that was like an hour and a half straight of talking to people. So it gives me a minute to relax, chill, calm, and then I can just talk to you for a minute. And you're always a pleasure to talk to, Phil. A good insight, good friend. You need to come to America too and hang out. That'd be awesome. Flights aren't that expensive. They really aren't. You always got a place to crash. But yeah, if you pay enough in advance, they're really not that expensive round trip. Take a flight, come on out, hang out for a few days, show you around Nashville, and it's a very popular tourist destination right now. We'll get you trash drunk in a bar and have some good time listening to live music, and send you back home with a good story or two. Oh yeah. Oh, that's fine, man. Of course, of course. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. We may just, I don't know. We may just bounce. I may bounce around some YouTube and see what others are doing. And go see if anybody else is live streaming right now. That's Lucy put out a new video. That's cool. I'll have to go check that out later. Electric Closet put out one. They hacked YouTube. I'm going to have to go check out that. I got a lot to go watch today. A lot to catch up for everybody. But I got to get mine done so that we get that going. We La ba bee boo boo dee boo doo 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 doo. There we go. I like this one better. Yeah, did she? Wow, she's been putting out some good stuff. She got some good hurricane coverage. I was supposed to have people send me hurricane coverage, and they never did. I'd called up and made contact, try to get some people to work on that with me, and they said they were, and they never sent them. So that didn't work out very well. But that's okay though. Uh, Hopefully this, when we get some bad weather, I'll be able to do some more of those videos. I love doing the bad weather videos. It's always a lot. I love watching the thunderstorms and the lightning. I like when it's during the day so you can see it a lot clearer. But usually it's hot during the day and it cools down at night, and that's when the air can mix and we get the bigger thunderstorms going. But once in a while. We're waiting on some good thunderstorms to roll through. I'm sure it's going to happen soon. Oh, and Phil, we're going to be doing your suggestion. You said you wanted to see the basement and the ghost hunt in the basement, and I talked to Evie, and she's going to assist us doing this. So, oh, we went out to that golf course, and I have the video of it, but I think I deleted it. The water had receded a lot, but you could see mud all over the trees up to like the leaves and stuff like that. But they pumped a lot of that water out quickly. I used to work for that golf course, so I know the equipment they have, and yeah, they emptied that thing out quick. They really quick. Get them golfing again. So it was down a lot that day we went over there. But as soon as we get some more bad weather and more floods start coming in, yeah, for sure. For sure. Oh, we got somebody else joining us. Finally, we got some new people hanging out. Well, that's cool. Make sure you say what's up in the chat. We can tell some stories. We were talking about some old Army stories. If you missed it from before, I was just going over some crazy times we had in Iraq and Afghanistan. It was a lot of fun. If you want more stories about that and you want to hear about it, let me know. I'd be happy to talk about some of the times I saw. Oh, I was always going to tell you the good stuff. Never any of the bad. You don't want to hear the bad. Just the good, the funny, the good. Military, and they're gone. Just like that. Just like that. Here they come. They go. Nice. Yeah, it'll be good when that does happen. I'm looking forward to it. We always get some really good weather down here. But, woo, that hurricane, you saw that video. I saw your comments on it. That water level was up. It was up. But it's been higher before. It's gotten so much, though, that the area I was walking on was underwater. Hey, Gaston, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, it's not Seth. It's not Seth. Maybe I should change that to It's Not Seth Rogen. That's what I'm going to change this title to. We're going to change it to It's Not Seth Rogen. Another heat wave today. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. How about that? Changed it for you. You make it that funny, Gaston. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Is it morning over there? Good. Good evening. Good evening for me here. Glad to have you stopping in finally. Finally. Yay. Always good to have. Oh, that was cheap. That was cheap. You guys pulled a fast one on me. You did. It's not Seth Rogen. So there you go. Bad old putty tats. It's 11:10 a.m. You're over where in Australia? My wife leaves her drinks all over the place and never finishes them, so I have to drink them all up. She's a huge Coke fan. Of course, she leaves all her Coke stuff laying around when she goes to work. But that's okay. She's going to work and she works hard. I can pick up a cup, no problem. Oh, okay. That's so cool. I've always wanted to visit Australia. It's on my bucket list. I have a confession: Australian girls with Australian accents, sexiest voices in the entire world. Amazing. Absolutely gorgeous. Just everything about their voices. A little blonde Australian girl with that Aussie voice, done. It'd be done. Hook, line, and sinker. That's just, I don't know. Some people, they've got their. Oh, for sure, Phil. For sure. Because I know Phil wanted to, so I talked to Evie. And she's going to hook it up, actually, for us. So she goes, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. Let me go ahead and look into what we need to do to get this going right for a decent ghost hunt. So now you guys have got her intrigued wanting to do it. So yeah, we will let you know. I'll put up a notice before we go live doing it, and I'll make sure we have plenty of time and we set a specific date and everyone gets a few days notice. And we're gonna do the live ghost hunt. Shut all the lights off in the place. We'll light it up with some candles, and we will do a complete go through and look for ghosts and stuff throughout this house. And trust me, I'm a little nervous about it. And yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter if they're not all blondes. It doesn't have to be true blondes. I would be I'll buy all the blonde hair she needs. Whatever, how to dye. If she doesn't want it blonde, wants to go brunette, that's fine too. Whatever, just the accent. That's where it is. That's where it's at. Oh my lord. Done. Like a stun gun, I'm done, son. That's crazy. It's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. This house, interesting stuff goes on, and yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be epic. I don't know if it'll be groundbreaking or anything like that, but it's definitely gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, really? That's awesome. Legendary. Evie, for her birthday coming up, we're getting her ancestry tree DNA thing done. She wants to know, so we're gonna knock that out for her. I really don't need to do mine. I know exactly what it is. Well, well enough to know that what we suspected was true. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I am married to a spectacular. Hit a lot of that one more time in English. A pretty spectacular girl. I am. I have no doubt of that. No doubt. But just saying, if an Australian girl, I don't know. Whew, I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Or am I? Nah, she's awesome. She's amazing. I got a really cool, awesome wife. She lets me goof off and be a kid, and that's what I've always. That's what with Ajax powder. Oh my gosh, Ajax powder. My grandpa's dog was name was Ajax. I think people are stopping in and they're like, "Yeah, it's not Seth Rogen." Oh, that's funny. That's okay though. That's okay though. I can see. I can imagine people right now are getting up close to the screen. No, that's not him. But it says it's not Seth Rogen, so it's not like it's being deceptive. I'm watching the numbers that jumps. They leave. They come in. They leave. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. This is actually kind of funny though. If just throwing people off like that. Is that wrong? I don't know. The surfers used to. Well, I would think also from the salt water and the salt water mixed with the Ajax, along with the sun, is a that's a strong bleaching agent. So you never know. Lemon juice works. When I was a kid, I had platinum blonde hair, like blonde hair, and that eventually faded into dark brown. But if when it lightens up a lot in the summer when I go out a lot. Yep. Yeah, I'll keep it on. It's funny. I think it's funny that way, and it's a big joke too because it's kind of like the Andy Kaufman kind of humor, where where he would purposely have the TV mess up on uh on the vertical, and they were like, "Why would you want to do that for like 30 seconds?" He goes, "Because then everybody in America is going to get up and to try to adjust their vertical all at the same time, and they're going to mess with it and play with it, and finally going to fix it, and then they're going to go back to watching, and it's going to be the biggest." It's going to be a big prank on everybody because all of America is going to do it at the same time. And they didn't understand that that was true, and it's hilarious. That kind of humor, when you can get people to do things that's funny like that, just out of habit, tweak the habits, is funny. Wow. So by putting it's not Seth Rogen, and yeah, it was funny yesterday. Ha 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 ha. Ha. I wasn't sure. He was doing some deceptive sneaking around. I'll say this: he was on his keyboard, being a keyboard warrior out there, sliding around, checking this, uploading that, multiple screens, systems dialing up, radars sending info. Brad was on it, knocking it out. The ruse was solid. The ruse was solid. But see, I like this though, because when people are gonna stop in, they're gonna look, they're gonna be like, yeah, it isn't Seth Rogen. But that's funny because it's not. But I bet if someone comes in and I, they think it was, it happens. Somebody said he has a pet named Peanut as well too. I don't know if that's true or not. I still think it'd be cool if these ever finally made it out to him. The It's Not Seth Rogen series, and he's like, some guy who's not Seth Rogen, who's saying he's not Seth Rogen, is on YouTube, and he looks just like you. Um, on Punked, I don't think Punked is on the air anymore, but we could do. I see. The distance is the problem with That's Brad. Is he's in the UK, I'm in the US. I could do. I was thinking about doing something with them, sending something to his PO box. That would be funny, and then he'd have to open it on mail call, and that would be funny. That would be good. Something embarrassing that he doesn't want to put on YouTube. That he's like, I can't show that on camera. And Ash would be sitting there. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. Go on then, show him. That's Brad. I can't do it on my channel. Just tip Peanut over. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same. A good prank though is what you do is you get a hole puncher and you punch out a bunch of holes and you get into his car, dump them down to the froster in the front, and then when the car is shut down, turn it all to high defrost. When he gets in, it blows them all out. Yeah, that could work. Doing interviews and looking for people who look like Seth Rogen. I would need to get release forms. I could print those up easy enough, but you'd have to get release forms for everybody. See, the legal aspect of everything makes it not as fun because they'd have to release that they're gonna don't mind putting on their identity for I. I mean, I could always blur the faces out, but where's the fun in that? And there's plenty of people around here too that would might fit the bill. I would need to get a good microphone. How do you film it? Well, that's the thing. I guess you would have to just show yourself setting it up, and then I guess maybe hide a camera in his car and then film it also from the outside, and call him up and get him to go to his car, so that then be like, Brad, do me a favor, go to your car and start it up. I heard there's been a recall or something. Start it up and listen for this sound in your car. I heard about it on the BBC or whatever. See about if your car's doing this tick thing. I heard about it and it reminded me of your car. And maybe he'll go out and start it. No, I didn't make any muffins. I didn't make any muffins, unfortunately. Or you just have to wait and figure out his schedule and figure out what time he goes to his car and then time it so that it's all set up at the same time. Because I mean, people are creatures of habit. So if you just figure out what time he usually gets into his car to go to the gym, or when he's leaving the gym, that would be perfect. If you found out what gym he goes to, if you figured out what gym he goes to, and then just put the camera in the backpack somewhere, even if you have to tape it up so that he just won't. If even if it's taped up, he won't expect it to be there. And if you don't expect it to be there, you won't necessarily see it. So just tape it off in a corner somewhere, pointing when he's in the gym, and then do the things, and then just wait for him to come out if you got the time, and then you're all set. It's just a matter of effort, how much effort you really want to put into it. That's all. And it's not a crappy little car. It's an awesome car. It's his car. He earned that car. YouTube got him that car. That's awesome. Yeah. There's an idea. Get into his car and take his magnet and remove the magnet and put like a piece of painted wood in its place so his magnet won't pick up anything. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. That's a good idea. Oh, he'll be right mad at that. Hey, there's Piper. She comes to say hi. Come here. Come up. Come say hi to everybody. There you go. And Peanut comes along, of course. Hi, bud. Right? It's a smart idea. Very smart idea. That's a good one. But I think he would notice the first time he pulled it out and he would look at the magnet. You would think he would notice. But at least, but he'd film it himself, so you wouldn't have to worry about filming it. He would film it himself. But you need to hide the magnet somewhere in the car so that he can easily fix it, or he'll be right mad. I don't know. He got me good the other night. He got me good. I will say that. I'm being attacked by the cat now. Come here, bud. Come here. Come on, up. Up. Come here. Come on up. Come here. Come on, P. Up. Good boy. There's my good boy. All right. There's Peanut, and there's Piper, and there's Butter. Yeah, right. I know. I got pranked so hard. That was funny. No, it's not. Oh, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. As always, thank you. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you had a good time enjoying checking everything out. I appreciate it, y'all. Whoa, we lost it for a second there. But we're back. We're back. We're fourth. There we go. I think I got it. Yep, we're good. Whoa, that was trippy. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. The camera just decided to go wonky for a second. But it's all fixed now. All fixed. Whew. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm sitting here, everything's fine. All of a sudden, snap. I don't know. See? These are some of the things I deal with. Left field. You see that? Left field. Possibly. See? And if it was just me who saw, if it was just me who saw all this stuff happening, it would I would think less of it. But it's happened to multiple people. People who've stayed in this house with me before have said, "Yeah, something's going on and it's crazy." But yeah, well, very cool, very cool. Now we got everybody hanging out now. All right, that's what's up. Maybe it was good that that happened because all of a sudden now everyone's jumping in. So that's cool. Who knows? Maybe you did. Maybe. But like I promised, we're gonna do the whole line everything up, ghost hunt it out. I need to see how much maybe like a stop peanut. Not yet, dude. Not right now, bro. No. But yeah. So we're gonna definitely do that one. I'm excited for that. I told Eve about it, and you should have seen her face light up. She was like, "Yes, but we're doing it right." And I was like, "Okay, okay, we'll do it right." Do you guys see that? The ghost cat just jumped. Let me see if I caught it. See, that's what's nice about watching the little delays. I can see the cat just jumped. She got a good jump there too. That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. But they've all been obsessed with that area lately, right over in this area, right in this particular area. They've been all wanting to hang out and been obsessed over there. Normally they don't. Like I said, Peanut sitting over there staring for a long time was really trippy, really trippy. So who knows? Something diabolical, I'm sure. Something diabolical. You did. You missed it. But see, I'm glad you're back. You were gone, but now you're back. That's good. That's good. Well, we'll sit here and listen for anything, see if anything happens. The camera going wonky was crazy. Out of left field, the camera just stopped broadcasting, tipped over, fell down, couldn't get it to turn the right way around. The battery flashed for a second. I don't know. A lot of stuff Goofy just went wrong with it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it would say it's super haunted like that, but there's just so much weird stuff that goes on here. Just so much weird stuff. And it's been like that since I bought the joint. So I don't know. I do not know. Maybe it is, but we're definitely gonna do the ghost hunt here. See what we can find. See what we can see. Uh, Plus, I want to get my basement cleaned out down there anyway, because in the winter I have an inflatable hot tub, and it's really actually really cool, and I like to set it up in the basement. So then in the winter, anytime I want, I can just go downstairs to my basement, and there's a hot tub all set up, and then you just drain it out, clean it, fill it back up. Takes about a day for the water to get hot, but ooh, it's nice to have a nice. And you'd be surprised it gets up to like 105 degrees, so it gets nice and hot. Oh, are you sweet ghost hunters? There's lots of old Civil War field stuff around here, civil battlefields, and so who knows? There's supposed to be a lot of stuff. There's some haunted places. Ohio's got some good haunted places. Well, yeah, Phil has recorded what he said, multiple stuff he's gone through. Been a good investigative team on this one, and he's gone through some of the videos and found all sorts of stuff apparently popping up behind me while it's happening, and yeah, so yeah, we've heard sounds. Everyone, I mean, the animals were all right here, and I've heard stuff banging around in just the other room, booms and crashes upstairs. It happens all the time. It's just kind of routine. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. But like I said, when I get the date planned for that, I'll definitely put a message time, and we're going to do it early enough that you guys in the UK can jump in and join, and those in Australia hopefully can join in as well. I'll try to do it at like a reasonable hour here, like maybe 12. Well, we got to do it kind of late at night, so maybe if I do it early in the morning here, like, ooh, I guess we'll just do this. How about this? When we do it, I'm going to do it at like a 3 a.m. time here in America, because 3 a.m. is supposedly the witching hour. So we'll do it at 3 a.m., and that way, um, we'll be doing it that time, which for our friends in the UK will be roughly around 9 a.m. And I'm not sure what time that'll be for you guys in Australia, but I think it'll be a little bit later at night, but or maybe like midday, and that'll give you guys time, or afternoon, early evening, early afternoon, and you guys will be able to tune in as well. So so yeah, that'll be a lot of fun, and everyone will get to participate in that. So that's a good idea. I think we'll do it like that. That way we can get everybody in. People in California will have the best time. People around here where I am, they won't get a very good time on that one. But you got to stop, dude. You got to stop. Please, please, just for a minute. Look, here's your bone. Here, go get that bone. Bring it here. He wants to play so much. Give me that bone. All right, all right. He thinks he's so bad. Arr, arr, arr. Give me that bone. No. Okay. But that'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we have a lot of people tune in for that one. Please tell people that you know what's going on, and that you've seen, and that you'll be tuning in, that you'd like them as well, because I'd love to have a really big audience for that one. It should be a lot of fun. Um, like I said, I'm truly a little nervous about it, but it'll be interesting to see happen. Yep. Split the part right there. Wow, we're over the 2 hour mark. We're not going to go anywhere. We're hanging out and having a good time, so we're going to keep this going. Um, but I guess that does deserve a trip to the Bat Cave. Well, that's weird. Oh, how the heck did that get over there? Well, we've seen some weird stuff happening here in this place for sure. Um, so I've had just some weird experiences. People have had weird experiences, and they're not very keen on it. But it doesn't bother me. So yeah, don't worry about it. But a lot of people have told me about interesting happenings that have gone on. So so yeah. Whoa! I got distracted. My boss was calling. I have to call him back. Uh oh. I messed up on that one. Oh, okay. Well, that's what's up. What is Piper doing over there now? She's stalking something. That's you just want attention. Where's your bone? Give me that bone. Get that bone. Go get that bone. Give me that bone right there. Get it. Oh, there you go. Where's your toy? Go get your toy. Bring it here. Bring that toy. Bring it here, Peanut. Come on. Come on, bring it here. Bring it here. Get him, Butter. Peanut Butter are going at it. This should be a delicious surprise. Get him, Butter. Get Peanut. Give me that bone. Give me that bone. Butter's trying to get it away from Peanut now. Oh, that's cool. No doubt. No doubt. Peanut, give me that bone. Get him, Butter. Get him. Get Peanut. Go get Peanut. Ah, she doesn't want to. What are you going to do? All right. Well, we got people hanging out. That's awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. It might be getting to that time, and I do got to call my boss back. So, um, I think we're gonna get ready to go ahead and end this broadcast anyway. I've had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Want to get some other stuff going on and done. We're gonna probably jump on some Xbox, and we're gonna knock out some gaming over there. So if you guys want to come hang out, or if you're watching this at a later time, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Really appreciate it. And I'll be back probably this week. We'll get ready for the ghost hunt, get everything set up, and we'll get that notification to you with some time to spare. And it'll be a lot of fun. We should have a good time. All right, so you guys take it easy. Again, I don't know what happened with the camera earlier. That was just crazy. But we'll talk to you guys later. So thanks for stopping in and hanging out, sharing, caring, whatever. Later.